Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to our talk about Furniture Road's transition into AEM. I'm Rabiah Coon, project manager from 3Share, and have been working with Noah and Sabrina from Furniture Row on their whole evolution into using AEM for assets and sites. So what we're going to do is first Noah's going to talk about how Furniture Row is going through a digital transformation and how they came to choose AEM. I'll talk about some of the custom implementations that we did, and then Sabrina is going to talk about the impact to her users. So we'll let Noah take it away first.
Perfect. Thank you, Rabiah. So Furniture Row is a little bit of a different company. We're a traditional furniture company. We own mattress brands. We also have an aerospace division. We sell cattle. We sell beef. We're kind of an odd company to work for. The owner of the company is a serial entrepreneur. He's always starting a new business. And along with that, we have to kind of always be changing with whatever's coming up. In 2012, we launched the first responsive design website with 3Share, Adobe, and ATG. That was kind of our first toe into the waters of how Adobe can be a true partner and help us grow as a business. From there, we're constantly kind of innovating and growing and doing different things. With that being said, Furniture Row's sister company, Denver Mattress, just launched a brand new website, and it's off of kind of the traditional monolithic structure of an Oracle or an ATG or an IBM WebSphere. We've looked at all those guys for years and really just felt like a cockroach being stepped on when we tried to deal with customer care and customer service. And so this time around, we went in search of partners that would actually be partners and work with us, not just to build and grow as a company, but to also help us build a better product for our customers. We focus on that experience with the customer, the pure one-on-one interaction. Our stores are very focused on great customer service and great customer care. And with that, the website that we built in 2012 just didn't pass that along. Oracle and ATG were built before smartphones existed. And so to have over 85% of your customers viewing your websites on smartphones and them trying to force a product that has no real relationship to how consumers actually interact with the product was a little difficult. We took that kind of mindset and decided, if we're going to do this again, let's find a partner that's actually willing to build a new stack and work with modern technology instead of just shoving us to the side and giving us the product that they've always wanted to work with. I know in yesterday's presentation they talked about how you get these monoliths, and it's all an acquisition, a build by acquisition, and then everybody tries to stitch these products together. We wanted to get away from that, and we went out and found a company called Upstart Commerce, which is founded by CEO from Restoration Hardware, Asad Jafari. He and Gordon Cook decided to get together and build a company from the ground up that's actually focused on what retailers need and what retailers want. So it's a full reactive stack that's not only responsive at its core, but it's functional for all of our different kind of plug-and-play options. We work a lot with Epsilon and Conversant, and they had the ability to plug in instantly and not have to go out and write a million lines of custom code to get it to work like we do with Oracle or ATG. With that in mind, we kept looking for additional partners to help the whole headless commerce stack that we built, and we decided to go with AEM as our kind of content positioning model. With that, we took kind of a step back and looked at how do our customers interact with all the pages. And Sabrina and Jessa, who headed up the design team for the new Denver Mattress site, they looked at how they're going to build all the different parts and pieces to really not only give customers a great interaction on the phone, but then give them the ability to find customizable pieces, customizable options, and really focus on giving the customers the shopping experience that they want, not the one that we want to force to them. Mattresses are a weird product because it's such a personal item. You don't think about it that much, but you spend a huge portion of your life on your mattress. And when you do decide that you want a new mattress, it's a short buying cycle. It's a 2-week buying cycle. So in that 2 weeks, you're going to be on the website once or twice, and then you're never going to go back to a mattress website until you're sick of your old mattress again. So it's a different model than any of our other consumer pieces. And we actually work a ton with Conversant on how to kind of build a profile for those customers based on what they're looking at and what they may be shopping for. So we take that third-party appended data to help us build a better model of each of the customers so that when we're actually showing them content, it's relevant for what they actually need or want. And that goes all the way across the stack into our emails, into our paid search. All of that data kind of ties together through AEM, through Epsilon, through Upstart Commerce to give us great partners and kind of customer service experience with denvermattress.com. So I'm going to give the clicker off to Rabiah here, and she's going to talk a little bit about how we actually built our integration and go from there.
All right, thanks, Noah. So when 3Share started working with Furniture Row, we first did just a DAM implementation, and that was it. Just implemented assets. They were replacing their previous DAM, and we built some custom workflows, and it was a pretty straightforward implementation. And then when they wanted to move forward and do sites, one of the first things we did was the dynamic media upgrade. So they had been using Scene7 Classic already, but not connected to any CMS or anything else. They were just uploading images basically directly to Scene7 and had their DAM separately. So we integrated that and upgraded them to dynamic media. There was a little bit of complexity with that, and we ended up migrating their media sets and also their assets. And since they have multiple businesses, like Noah said, there was also the need to only handle the Denver mattress assets as far as like pushing them to Scene7 dynamic media. So that was a really interesting part of our project. And then we get to the headless AEM sites. So AEM sites, the content management part, really initially is designed to be served on the front end by AEM. But what we're doing is we built a custom exporter for the content in order to actually allow experience fragments and pages to be exported, and experience fragment content to be exported onto a page. So this created a lot of customization, the need for a special coding to allow mapped objects to be exported as well. And then there's a React front end that's built. So they're constantly retrieving the content from the site, and this includes also the images from dynamic media. What was interesting about that too was initially we had some performance issues with so much content coming, and that's why we had to keep making it more efficient. So it turned out to be really great, but it was a lot of customization. The other thing was the column controls. So those didn't export very cleanly as well, but column control is super important for the authors because that's going to affect how their page lays out, and that's how they were controlling how things looked. And Sabrina will be talking more about the authoring experience. So all that being said, there was one more thing we did, which was like write a servlet for the images. And we had to make sure that, again, we wanted to reduce the cost of all the calls back and forth. So the image servlet that we wrote delivers both a mixed media set and a product image so that it can be used both for their product landing page and their product details page seamlessly by the system. The last thing we did I kind of mentioned already with the dynamic media upgrade, but we had to customize the push to Scene7 to make sure that images are getting there so that they can be retrieved by the site. But it was all like a really interesting thing to do and a different way to implement sites for us. And it really gives a lot of flexibility to Furniture Row so they can have a diversified platform. So this is kind of hard to read right now, but an export example, it's really clean. We have the items order, so that just makes sure everything that on the front end they know where to put what. And then we have the column controls. So all the content in each column, plus we have the experience fragment on the page. And then in AEM, of course, Furniture Row can access links to all their renditions in dynamic media and create new renditions anytime they need to so that they can continue to use the images in different places, including the website or emails. So now I'm going to hand it off to Sabrina.
Thanks. Is it just the green one? Like here.
Oh, the green. Yeah.
So yeah, with our move to AEM, we really wanted to obviously integrate everything like Rabiah was saying. Before we got into assets, we had a lot of our stuff stored internally. We really didn't have a lot of external stuff that comes together. So we had, everything was in separate spots. All of our images were in a totally separate spot from our content. Obviously with our site being managed in Oracle, obviously that wasn't connected either. So with Denver Mattress, our big focus was kind of curating like our customer experience. So when we integrated with sites, we kind of were able to set it up in a way that we can move our customers through that buying experience. Like Noah was saying, like mattresses are really weird, and it's not something that you browse for a lot, and it's something that when you browse for it, you want to get there really quickly. So with Upstart being our new platform, our commerce backend has been really cleaned up. We've been able to add a lot of like custom fields and getting that commerce backend to really behave how we want it to. It also integrates really well with AEM because it all comes from that same JSON feed. So we have all of our images are skewed and they go straight through to the site. All of the content goes straight through to the site, and we can kind of curate that how we want. I'm going to talk a little bit about the author experience. So for us, because it's headless, we're not really seeing that front end in AEM, how you would traditionally use it. So for what we did was a lot of custom components that we're able to reuse, and we worked a lot with 3Share in building those. So this is an example of a sale block that we run on our homepage. And it really gives us the opportunity for multiple layouts, multiple images. Do we want one product or two? How do we want that experience to show to the customer? What kind of sale is it? Do we need more information? Do we need less? And that's what we worked with 3Share on, is being able to set this up and not have to kind of think about it, but then it keeps our layouts consistent as well, because now we've got reusable components that we don't have to save and build somewhere else. They're saved within AEM. And then that brings us to our brand new Denver Mattress site, which is working really well. Our customers are receiving it really well. Something that's kind of unique to Furniture Row as well is while we do focus on our commerce side and we focus on online sales, we also make a really big push of getting customers into our brick and mortar locations, which we have a lot of. So for us, we like to promote the web sales and we want to promote great content, but we also want that to make them feel like they want to go in and learn more. So for Denver Mattress, our focus is really on returning content that people are going to enjoy, returning content that's going to get them kind of like the technical things that they want to like learn about mattresses and arrive and like where they want to arrive. With dynamic media now too, integrated fully, we've got that back on our products. We've always been using Scene7, but it's definitely quicker now, which is great. I think that's it.